What's up guys, Cwesolo here, and today we are back for another video on how to code in C#. Last time around we covered while loops, and the video before that we covered for loops. So this video we're going to be covering do while loops. Just a couple things before we get into this. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe so that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads, and also be sure to click that bell icon so that way you know when I am uploading. And also I am really sorry for not uploading in the last month. I have been really busy with college, and the semester is coming to a close. I have finals in like a week. It's been really stressful. So, really looking forward to summer so that way I can make more videos, work on my game, and maybe make some more coding videos. Well, we're going to be making more coding videos for sure. Anyway, let's get into this. So, last time around we covered while loops, and the basic premise was while this condition is being met, it'll loop until this condition can no longer be met, and then it will get out of the loop. And to do this in the last video, since it's been a while, so we're just going to go over this nice little algorithm here. We have a random number generator, so RNG here, that's the name of the variable. So we have random number generator is equal to a new random. So we'll get into this later, but essentially this is creating a random number. We have two integers. We have a loop value, which is to see how many times this is looped through, and we have a number that is set equal to 0, because our thing here is while num is not equal to 10, 0 is not equal to 10, so it's going to loop through. And we set number equal to random number generator next, and then we gave it some values between negative 10,000 and 10,000, and we looped through until we got 10. Once we got the number 10, the loop would terminate, and we would be down here. So, and then this nice little bit here would show how many times it looped, and that was pretty much that. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to be constructing a do while loop. Now, I'm going to just make it first, and then I'm going to explain what the difference is between while and do while, and we'll just kind of go through that. And just kind of, this video isn't going to be really showing you, it's going to show you how to construct a do while loop, but it's not going to really be showing you like, kind of like our last videos where we did like maybe some mini programs of things. We can realistically use the same little thing that we have going here with the random number generator and loop till we get the number 10 again, just using a different form of loop. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to just get rid of all this here. So we're going to be getting rid of this. We're going to type in do, all right? And then we're going to go down to here, and you can keep your same loop if you've been following along from the last video, and we're going to type in while, then the parentheses, num is not equal to 10. And then at the end of it, you have to have a semicolon. This is slightly different than a while loop or a for loop, where at the end of the statement for the loop condition, you wouldn't normally put a semicolon at the end. For do while loops, you have to put a semicolon at the end, otherwise it will break. The compiler will let you know, so if you don't have it here, Visual Studio will make it apparent that you need to put a semicolon there. So just be sure that you remember that do while loops need a semicolon, the other loops don't need semicolons. And yeah, so let's just talk about the differences now. You can already kind of see that the looping condition is down here now and not up here. So let's just hop right into that. So a do while loop is a post check. So it'll go through at least once, right? So no matter what, even if I have this value up here equal to 10, it is going to loop through at least once. So I'm going to actually just, we're going to just quickly just comment this out real quick so that way we don't get a random number. And we're going to just show that this is going to go through once no matter what. Loop val, the looping, the plus there is still going to go one time. It's going to loop through one time. Unlike a while loop where if we set num equal to 10, it is going to just skip the loop. It's not even going to go into it. It's not even going to loop at all. It's just loop val would be 0. And I could prove this to you by making a while loop right under here. So num is not equal to 10, and then we'll go ahead and before we do that, we want to set loop val to 0. So loop val equals 0. We want to quickly reset that. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna move this up above here so that way we can kind of see the differences. And let's quickly do that. And we are gonna just type in console.writeLine num. There we go. And then we're gonna go loop val and ++ to increment that up, and then we're gonna Control S to save that. I'm not gonna worry about the number RNG thing here. Actually, we can copy that in here. Why not? We can kind of show what both loops do here real quickly. So anyway, so you can already kind of see here that a while loop, it has the condition up here, the looping condition up here rather than down here, and the body of the loop is obviously right here. But the thing is that this is a pre-checking, so num is already set equal to 10. So it is gonna, when it gets to the while loop, it's gonna be like, is num not equal to 10? Well, num is equal to 10, so this condition cannot be met, and I'm gonna just skip right over this. This doesn't apply, right? Instead with the do while loop, it's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna jump into this, and then we're gonna check. Once we're done with at least one loop, we are gonna check and see if the condition isn't able to be met anymore. And since it's not able to be met, it'll just jump out. Once the condition can't be met any longer, it is just going to simply jump out. So we can kind of see this right here, where when we run this program, 10, no matter what, is going to be just 10. And it's going to say loop, it's going to say looped one time. This is referring to do while. So I'm going to even write a little console.writeLine here. And we're going to go do while loop, not loops. And we are going to type up here, oops, while loop, not loops, oops. Really just want to hit that S key today. And as you can see, I might have screwed up something. I forgot a semicolon. Don't forget your semicolons. Always remember, at the end of almost every single statement, you have to have a semicolon, unless it is an if statement or a loop, except for the do while. Just remember that. That can give you some problems. And this isn't working for some reason. Let's quickly, let's terminate this and reset this. Okay, let's save, and let's go ahead and start it up again. All right, sometimes it'll do that. So do while loop, it shows the number, and it is saying while loop, and it looped 0 times. So you can clearly see that the do while is going to go at least once, and then the while loop is not going to go at all. And the cool thing is that, again, with the do while loop, if we just have this set up to do the random number, so we can set this up and have it set the random number, we'll go ahead and take out the comment here. If you also want to invalidate code, so if you just want to have it skip a line of code, you could just do the comment. You could just comment it out. I'm not sure if I went over comments yet. I think I packed it in one of the other earlier videos. If you guys would like to see a separate video about comments, I could do that. I probably should have covered that earlier if I didn't. So yeah, just leave a comment if you want a video about just specifically comments in code and how to do them and what you might want to use them for. All right. So as you can see, the do while loop is going through. Even though we set number here, our integer here, even though it is equal to 10, the do while loop still ran this code. Since it goes through at least once, it is going to generate a random number no matter what. Where our while loop, it was equal to 10, so it just skipped over the while loop. It didn't matter. It's going to loop 0 times. It's never even going to get to the code that's in the looping body. All right. So it's pretty cool, and there are some very nice uses for do while loops. If there's ever a situation where you need to loop through something, but you need to check the condition afterwards, so you need it to go through at least once, the do while loop is the way to go, rather than a while loop where it pre-checks. Do whiles post-check. Same thing with for loops. For loops are a pre-check loop. I can show that to you right now. But for loops, typically when you construct them, so we go for int, not that is an exception. We'll probably get into that some other video. Int I equals 0, and I is less than or a little bit less than 10, and I ++. So as you can see here, and then we have our looping body, yada, yada, yada. So again, this is kind of pre-checking, but for loops are a bit different because you're typically having an integer value that is going to be you have an integer value that's going to be counting up no matter what, and or counting down, or multiplying, or whatever you're doing with your for loop. You're running with an integer, and it is going to be doing something. It is going to be multiplying, subtracting, dividing, adding. It's going to be doing something at this statement here, and you're doing something with an integer. And yes, if I were to set this to 10, just straight up, it's gonna skip this, and we could even set loop val to 0 again. So we're gonna set loop val equal to 0 down here again, and then we're gonna have it go loop val plus plus. This is entirely stupid to have this because I plus plus is here. We could just simply check the. But if you wanna do this, this is still gonna go 0 times because it is kind of checking already. If this is equal to 10, I cannot be less than equal to 10. Okay, this is gonna loop while I is less than equal to 10. So as you can see here, it's gonna do the very same thing. We're gonna go through the do while loop until it hits 10, and then again the while loop looped 0 times. And I didn't ever print the loop val for here, but it's gonna loop 0 times also. So actually it might not even, yeah. So that's the difference between do whiles, and for loops. And here are all the loops together where you can see them, the differences, and you can compare and see the differences. For loops have an integer. It's gonna be counting in some sort of way to while a condition needs to be met. So it's going to loop until this condition can no longer be met, and then it's going to just increment until it gets there. While loops are going to just loop while this condition is being met, and it's going to just keep going and going and going until it can no longer be met. And same thing with the do while. It's just that the main difference between these two is one is a pre-check, one's a post-check. Now, if you're an application for a do while loop is if you're wanting to check if a user input is valid. Instead of using something like a go-to statement, you could use a do while loop. And you could check with an if statement whether or not the input of the user is valid using a Boolean or something like that to determine that. And then it'll loop through as many times as it takes until the input is in fact valid. So that's one application of a do while loop. You can do the same thing with a while loop, but you just got to make sure that you are setting up your code in a way that it is going to automatically loop. But the nice thing is with the do while, with it being post check, you can automatically set the thing to false, the Boolean to false, and it will still go through unless it is determined to be true. So that is a really cool thing with do while loops. All of them have their uses, and as you can see, another main difference between for loops and the other loops is that typically for loops, or actually for loops all the time, have some sort of value that they need to get to. So you can kind of look this as I needs to get to just below, or I needs to get to 10. So you can kind of see here that it's always going to be counting towards some value. You can skip over that value if you don't construct your for loop correctly. Then you have an infinite loop. You don't want to do that. But you can clearly see that you have this value that this is going to be counting to. So. And same thing here with these. These are going to loop a finite amount of times. These can loop as many times as it takes until it gets to the value that you're looking for, or to this input that you're looking for, or whatever the looping condition is. It's going to loop until that condition can no longer be met. So that's the main differences. There's the 3 loops. Those are the 3 loops in code. We could go over for each loops, but I don't think I'll probably cover that when we get to arrays, which is the next video. So for each loops are just a modified for loop. We're just that's what it is. It's a modified for loop to work with arrays. But yeah, next video is gonna be arrays. I hope you guys liked the video. Hope you found it helpful. If you have any comments or questions that you have, please do comment them below, and try to make a couple do while loops. Maybe try to check inputs and stuff like that, and play around with them a little bit. The only way you're gonna get better at coding is if you code. So play around with the loops, do different things with them, try different things with them, see how they work. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a great day. I guess peace out. I don't know. I don't even know how to end off the video. Oh yeah, and I don't want to drag this on, but also go check out my game on Steam. I'll have a link in the description so you can go check that out, and so that way you can wishlist it, or if it's available by the time you're watching the video, you could buy it. If you're watching this video like 2 years down the line. But yeah, link is in the description. Go check it out, or I'll leave like a card or something if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. I think you have to have a certain amount of subscribers to do that. Regardless, it'll be in the link in the description if you want to go check that out. And yeah. Wishlist would be sick, or if it's sometime in the future that you're looking at this in 2023 or 2024, go buy it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.